damn right. We teaching evolution around here. And we not teaching it, right, because we standing on the shoulders of Darwin. We teaching evolution because we standing on the shoulders of the natural world, which developed a process, right, of forming life gradually through stages of development. We standing on the shoulders of our elders that broke down the scholarly shit and got us out of the foolish shit. But let's see. They have not challenged the international scientific community on the origins of the black Hebrew people that they're claiming. But we have on our side, we've challenged that. And we solid. Shigant Diop's, Belfile Banger, Chancellor Williams, Rakati Ahmed, Harudi, Dame Smalls, John Jackson. We can go on and on and on and on and on. Smash Rockwells, Asa Hotep, Ngasi Ngozi, God Killer. We've challenged them every day.
We got to be clear. Let's deal with this. Up until Darwin, most stories of the origin of man were spiritual, religious. Okay, so we got to understand that this type of talk is new talk. When you go to the walls of ancient Egypt and you see Khnum on the potter, he's on the potter wheel. He molding man. He ain't molding monkey. That's right. You see what I'm saying? It was a perfect man and woman. I'm about to show it, man. So you wondering what kind of mind would even make a motherfucker say I come from a monkey?
Hold on.
It's a man who, so a man think of so is he.
Of civilization, myth, and reality, Shigant Diop's. Y'all can't get around that. Remember, he was at the Cairo Symposium and he proved his point. So right here, who he's talking about? He's talking about Cro-Magnon man, Grimaldi man, and the modern Sudanese, right? He's talking about different quote-unquote species of humans. Homo neanderthalis was a human, archaic human, y'all ain't even getting it. Homo erectus was a human, y'all ain't even getting it. We're going in, man. We're gonna have a fossil record for that ass. You would not bring forth information if you did not agree with it, if you did not support this information. Okay? So John Henry Clark, right? He taught that the origin of the human race was in Africa. So in teaching that the origin of the human race was in Africa does not say that human beings just fucking popped up. What it says is that early man evolved.
That's a bullshit.
You see, we talking about a motherfucker coming from an ape.
Now if you let me address that,
wait a minute. And that's what they saying. Okay?
I want to first warn you. Okay. I want to warn all of y'all that the Armor Raw Squad will be viewing this video. Okay? So I'm gonna ask you one question. It's a yes or no answer. I'm gonna come to you and give you the mic. Do you believe in evolution? Yes or no?
I don't have.
Armor Raw Squad is watching.
Yeah, I don't have a yes or no answer for that. I'm not.
Yes or no?
No.
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 Don't run. Don't
no.
Run.
No.
Stand up.
All right.
You talking about the?
All 5 of the brothers said no.
But don't make it about.
Evolution simply means change. That's all it means, brother.
Because if we say everything is just evolving and evolving, it's no reality. This shit could be a blur.
That's right.
What that tree could evolve into anything is what you're saying.
Right.
But it's got to be some rules, so it is some rules. It's no evolution. We've always been what we are.
That's right.
Since we came into existence. And we don't know when we came into existence. We know, you know.
We already know that John Henry Clark, right, wrote the foreword and right, he brought Diop into the English. Okay? Because they was in French. So we know that John Henry Clark had to agree with the information.
I acknowledge Sheikh Anta Diop as the finest single mind produced in Africa in the 20th century. He came from a great antecedents. He came from a line of Africans who gave the world the concept of the oneness of God. It never used the word God. The word God is un-African. It's another lecture.
Oh, let me
When the white man got here, said he was crawling around on all fours.
He
right?
was, and he's still crawling on all fours.
Have evolved? The white man has not evolved?
No, that's like saying
on
your
the
baby.
planet?
That's like saying your
He's
baby
standing
evolved.
up right now.
He's evolved.
Evolved.
But evolving. Wait a minute.
When you got them in a pickle, they done. They done. Skulls. Skulls. Barely humans. You got 27 different types of humans that resided on the planet back and forth.
Y'all ain't even know that. I got y'all, man.
But read an essay he had written called The Fundamental Levels of History. I would become interested in his work, interested in the debate over his PhD thesis. I would gather as many of his works as I could when I was in Paris, go home, and later, before I'd even met him, compile 20 most important books on African history, written by Africans themselves.
I want to be clear, though, that evolution, as I understand it, I know we have our own definition of evolution, but the one we need to be fighting is the dominant understanding that being taught all over this country and all over the world, and that's the Darwin theory.
So if I say I teach evolution, I don't teach evolution because Darwin learned and taught evolution. I teach evolution because it's an African thing. I teach evolution because I stand on the shoulders of the teachers that challenged the European establishment on the origin of human beings.
A brilliant Senegalese scholar and scientist would shake, and many say topple, the very foundation of that conventional wisdom. His name was Sheikh Anta Diop. His research was brought to the attention of the English-speaking world through the efforts of his longtime colleague and friend.
I was wondering why his books had never been published in the United States. He said there was no publisher's interest in his books. It took me 7 years to interest the publisher in the books of Sheikh Anta Diop.
Diop's disciples refer to him as the Pharaoh of the Upper Nile.
You must be strong enough and serene enough
de voir les faits historiques
to see the historical facts
et de les interpréter
and
correctement.
to interpret them.
Nous pouvons tous être passionnés,
We can all be impassioned,
mais ce n'est pas de cette manière que nous résoudrons les problèmes complexes de l'humanité.
but that is not how we will resolve the very complex
Donc cette
problems of
domination
humanity.
dont nous souffrons, dont j'ai souffert moi-même,
The domination that we suffer from, that I have suffered from myself,
notre propre domination des autres races l'a précédé.
our domination of other races preceded it.
Donc l'Afrique a exercé un impérialisme continu pendant 4000 ans.
But for 4,000 years, Black Africa had an imperialism. a
Toute
period
l'Afrique
of-
occidentale était conquise et était justement sous la domination noire.
all of Western Asia was under the domination of blacks.
On n'aurait pu jamais penser à cette époque-là que la situation pourrait un jour être renversée.
And at that time, no one would ever have dreamt that the situation could be reversed.
C'est pour ça que l'étude de l'histoire nous redonne la sérénité pour apprécier les faits et les relativiser.
This is why the study of history gives us the serenity required to appreciate the facts as they are.
1974, he would challenge the major scholars of the world on the concept of Egypt not being anything other than an African state. In the conference on the peopling of Egypt, leading scholars of the world met and debated. Most of them wanted to put Egypt's origin outside of Africa. Sheikh Anta Diop and his protege, Theophile Obenga, place Egypt within the context of Africa's totality. Sheikh Anta Diop was more than a historian, he's a scientist, he's a paleontologist, and he had proven that if he could get the pigment from some of the mummies, he could prove their African origins. All the rest of the conferees came just to disagree, and when it was all over, they had to admit these two men came prepared to prove their case. At that point, they began to close the door to the research of Sheikh Anta Diop.
Absolutely, positively, he taught evolution.
Because since the human race came from Africa, according to law in this country, if you have just a small amount of African blood, that makes you a Negro. Well, if you take that literally, then even Reagan is a Negro, because if you trace his ancestry back far enough, you go to Africa. So even Reagan has African blood.
John Jackson, Man, God, and Civilization, man, he gives you the actual evolution of religion and the African origin, you know what I'm saying, of the African.
A lot of people have an idea that if a man is an atheist, that is, if he doesn't believe in a personal God, he's an irreligious person. That's not true. The Africans had an atheistic type of religion, and they were deeply religious people.
The early ages of the world. That's chapter 1. The factors and evidence of evolution. That's chapter 2. Ice Age and man. Okay? So, and then he goes into where religion comes from. This is a great book. This is John G. Jackson, bruh. You know what I'm saying? An author, an introduction to African civilization. There's 2 works right here. So we ain't even got to deal with white people, man. We got it through our elders, man.
And they took the position. For instance, if you went to a temple in ancient Egypt and told the priest that you wanted Horus, the Egyptian Christ, to save your soul, he would tell you not to waste his time. That Horus, Osiris, Isis, and nobody else is going to save your soul except you. In other words, they tell you this. They say, we believe in reincarnation. You have lived before. You've come back to the world. And if you want a better life, the next time you come back, you'll have to earn it yourself. The gods are not going to give it to you. And the Egyptians told these people, if you want a better life the next time you come back to the earth, you live a good life now, and then when you come back, you'll have a better life. But if you lead an evil life, the next time you come back, it'll be worse. So it's up to you. Yeah, so that they told people not to pray to gods, angels, anything to save them. It was their job to save themselves.
I'm a real life motherfucking scientist, okay? Don't let the way I like to talk sometimes. I can get very intellectual when need be, you know? I can argue with a nigga, or I can argue with a NASA scientist. So I can articulate myself very well. So now we're gonna get on the higher planes of the mind. Answer your question about the albino is a car with no paint. It's still an African. It still look black. It still got big cheekbones. Still got big booties. African woman. It just don't got no. When they created the car, they put the engine in there and they put the sound and they put the rims on it. They was like, damn, Jim, we forgot to spray it with the paint. Right. If you don't know no better, after you see a black man, you see a white man, you'll think it's natural, but it's not. It's gene splicing, okay? It's called genetic engineering. This is one of the number one funded sciences of white people. Why do they practice genetic engineering? Because they cannot live under the sun, so they have to genetically keep modifying themselves as the temperature of the sun fluctuates. When we talking about black people and white people, we have to understand that we have a different cellular makeup. So you can't say a parrot evolved from a lion. They have a different biological structure.
What is your definition of evolution in as a condensed version as possible?
Okay. If I had to create a personal definition of evolution and I was writing a dictionary, I would say evolution is the ability to genetically, mentally, and spiritually identify and observe one's surroundings and upgrade to be best physically mobile, mentally, and spiritually sufficient in that environment. That's evolution.
That's right.
So now, third of all, we're gonna dog evolution, because for 3, That which is natural cannot be changed unless something unnatural take place. You're not gonna give me a cup of water and give me a cup of Kool-Aid and say it evolved. You're not gonna give me a black man and then give me a white man and say it evolved. How? Because you're saying that the white man, that we evolved from monkeys into people, but black people's original blood type was Rh negative. Rh means reaches monkey. So if we didn't have the monkey blood, how did we evolve to somebody with the monkey blood if we never had it? So now that's one. We couldn't have came from the monkey because we never had the monkey blood. For two, white people have 4% Neanderthal DNA and they're only 96% human being. Black people are 100% human being. We have no Neanderthal DNA. The Neanderthal DNA comes from the monkey and the canine. So if we don't have any DNA tracing us back to monkey and canine, how could we have evolved from that?
The Caucasian is genetically spliced with a chimpanzee and a muskrat, and the Asians and the Chinese people are genetically spliced with a unit snub-nosed monkey.
I agree with him about 85, 90 though. I agree with him about 85, 90.
And then how do we know this? When you do the autopsy on the Chinaman, not only does he have the A and B antigens in his blood which link him, and he's Rh positive to the monkey, he got the fucking amphicantic fold on his eye. So understand, white people are genetically spliced. They created. They not naturally created. Why would evolution evolve into something that's weakest, that's the weakest to live? That's you saying that the universe is retarded. So hell no, I don't believe nothing about the evolution theory. Hell no.
Now if we say, right, that the African are the seed people, if the elders taught, right, the key core teachings of our elders was that the African people were the seed people, they were the oldest civilization on the planet, right? And they were the quote unquote orders of humanity. That's what they all taught. You can get their books, and I'm gonna show y'all.
Evolution theory has been internationally declared dead since 2003, April 1st. So you 13 years behind in some shit that science been deemed motherfucking out the window.
Dr. Ben, Africa, the mother of Western civilization. Bam. Breaking the evolution down, breaking the fossil record down. It's all here.
Why would they teach you the truth? Now, second of all, we dealing with evolution. You saying that by teaching evolution, the white man is the supreme being because he's the last level of completion of humanoid existence. Because if evolution is true, you saying that the cosmos is saying, I'm finally done. It's just like drawing a picture. You got your rough draft and you got your final. You saying black people was the rough drafts and the white man is the final.
We got the manuscripts. We got the bookwork to back us up. We got Mother Nature to back us up.
White people aren't this color. They're not absolutely white. They still have a degree of pigment to them. The pigment just doesn't suffice within environments that consist of sunlight or that is abundant in sunlight. So when we talk about evolution, remove the connotation, especially when you're dealing with it within a scientific context. Remove the connotation of evolution meaning some kind of advancement. Evolution doesn't mean you become more complex. Evolution simply means that you have changed through time, specifically generationally. And I'll give you another example. When we study evolution and when we study sciences, we're able to cure diseases.
Bam! Dr. Ben talking about the early man, early fossils. So we gonna be teaching. Y'all say y'all teach that monkey shit. Yeah, y'all got the monkey shit. We got the scientific shit. Y'all got that monkey shit. Cause y'all climbing on trees with that foolishness, man. And then we got, let me say something, man. We got the African Senate community, man, trying to fight against evolution, man.
96% of it, y'all gotta think about this. Everyone wants to believe in DNA when there's a pregnancy issue. When there's two baby fathers, oh, let's go get a blood test done to see who's the real father. When there's a crime committed, sexually or at a crime scene revolving around some environment, everyone wants to refer to DNA. And if someone has 96% similar DNA to us, how is it possible that we don't have a common ancestry? I'm not saying that we come from monkeys, but if monkeys have a DNA that is 75% similar to us, how is it that we do not have a genetic relation to those monkeys? DNA is what we use to determine our agnation and cagnation, our heredity. That's how we trace our ancestry.
He was asking me question after question, and I was answering his questions to the best of my ability.
Right? When you stand up in front of the people and say, I am saying that the African people are the original people. But yet you go against the facts of evolution. How can African people be the origin and the seed people of all humanity, and then you discount the process that shows and proves this? You discount DNA. You discount understanding evolution. Not because Brother Unc said it, right? Not because the elders said it, right? But the scientific research and study clearly says that. How in the hell you gonna fight against science with religion? Y'all lost y'all mind. See, you can have your belief and your religion, right? And you should also understand science. So we got our scholars producing our own history. Where y'all at? My man, yeah. Destruction of Black Civilization, Great Issues in Race, from 4500 BC to Great Dr. Chancellor Williams, man. Alright? Telling the story of early man. Talking about the oldest civilization. Talking about time periods. Right here. We ain't went white yet.
This man says the true facts are to be found in a more thorough and honest look at history. After Dr. Chancellor Williams, a native of Bennettsville, South Carolina, received his doctorate in history and sociology, he studied psychology, anthropology, archaeology, and economics. He also taught Arabic history and worked as a professor of history at Howard University for 29 years. He won an award from the Black Academy of Arts and Letters and was the first recipient of the 21st Century Foundation's Clarence L. Holt Prize for Excellence in Literature.
This is our textbook right here when we teaching our lessons. I'm a Raw Squad manual right here. Y'all can get that from me. So if you're dealing with anything, right, with the origins of human population, bam, you gotta come with this. When God Was a Woman by Marilyn Stone. Bam. See that statue right there? That's shaped just like an unk. Ain't it? Yeah. All modern human life comes out of the womb of the great black mama.
All archaic humans comes out the womb of archaic black mama.
There is no other way to get to the planet but through the womb of the great black mama. What is wrong with y'all, man? Y'all done, right? Because you're superstitious and you're full of religion.